for the season 4 season finale. And I've been waiting for a long time for this interview because there's some questions that I really want to ask this vocal group of the year. There's some questions. These guys have written songs from Kenny Chesney, Tyler Farr, Dirk Benning, Luke Bryan, the band Perry, Sam Hunt, Jaco, and Blake Shelton, and more. I'm sure there are people along this list that I have not named. They have written pretty much everyone in Nashville. They have their own #1 hits. They are CMA Vocal Group of the Year, multi-time CMA Vocal Group of the Year. We have here Matthew, Brad, and Trevor of Old Dominion. How you guys doing?
We're doing great after that introduction. Feel good about myself.
Just carry me around your pocket. I swear, I'll make you happy about yourself anytime.
Now that could go many number of ways.
Oh boy! Oh Lord! Oh God! See, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're starting off right. So let's talk about this new album. We're gonna get this out of the way. We're gonna talk about this new album, Time, Tequila, and Therapy. So I'm gonna ask straight up, what's your favorite songs off the album, guys?
Ooh,
man, that's tough. It's funny, you know, the band like this, everybody's got different favorites. I think, you know.
For me, there's one called Hawaii that I think has always stood out to me. It just has something built into it that makes me nostalgic. And so for me, I think I could probably say that that's my favorite, but it is tough to pick because they're all different, you know.
Yeah, I'll go with Why Are You Still Here? I think it's just kind of a quirky little song for us. I really love the verse and just, I don't know, kind of has a unique sound to me.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I love Hawaii. I think I love one called No Hard Feelings, which is where we got the album title from. So, man, it's just so proud of the whole project. It's hard to pick your favorite.
You got the title. You got the title from the song "No Hard Feelings." So I this entire time been thinking that it's been coming as a theme for 2020. That's what I've been thinking of, because I feel like we all needed tequila and therapy, and I had plenty of time during 2020. So all right, so you released "I Was on a Boat That Day," which has been a summer jam. I live by that because I don't have a boat, but I daydream about being on a boat sometimes while working.
That's a close second.
That's a close second. So what was the decision on how did that come about making that the single? Was that the first song you guys wrote on the album?
No, it was just the most fun, I think. You know, I think it was like it had been a while, I think, since we put out something that was like just really up tempo and really kind of silly and, you know, just a good time. So I think that's what we were kind of looking for coming with next. And that song kind of checked all those boxes. We had so much fun writing it and so much fun recording it. And every time you listen to it, everybody was just smiling. So that was kind of the energy we wanted to come with. And that one seemed to be everyone's choice. So,
who reached out to Gladys Knight, the Queen? Who reached out? How did that come about? Because that was amazing.
Actually, it was insane, like how it happened. Just the chances of this happening. We had that song, "Lonely Side of Town," and we were kind of, you know, working on it and working on it in the studio and listening back, and we were like, man, wouldn't it be great to have like a Motown legend? I think I said like Smokey Robinson, and then Matt and Shane were like, or Gladys Knight would be amazing. And then Shane had a light bulb moment. He's like, wait a second, Jessica, who owns the studio, is friends with Gladys Knight. She lives in Asheville where we were recording. And so even so, we're like, that's crazy, but still you don't think it's not possibly going to happen, right? But Shane talked to Jessica and she's like, I can ask her, you know, and she went to Gladys and gave them a call and asked her, and she's like, yeah, absolutely. I love those guys. So it blew our minds. We couldn't believe it.
You don't know that goes to show that you don't know until you ask.
Yeah. We were surprised she knew who we were. So
That's very true. I'm surprised that she was. I'm friends with Mickey Guyton. And I'm like, I talked to Mickey about it. I'm like, I'm surprised that she even knew like anyone in country music.
She's like a huge country music fan, and like when you talk to her, she'll tell you that her songs, if you really listen to them, her biggest songs are actually country songs at heart. The way they're written and what they're talking about, there's a lot of country that influenced her.
I love Gladys Knight.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't should really get slapped in the face. But so obviously that's a dream collaboration. So what's a dream collaboration for each of you guys?
Oh
man, there's so many.
I know.
I always say Paul McCartney. I mean, you know, I'm a pretty big Beatles fan, and he's just a legend. So living legend. So for me, that would be one.
I'd say probably for some reason Lenny Kravitz I think would be cool. He just seems like a cool rock and roll dude. I'm sure he's got. Maybe I could steal one of his jackets, you know, while we were recording.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of across the board. Like, it would be cool. I'm a huge Springsteen fan, but I don't know. I think I might be too nervous to like actually contribute in that collaboration. But I would love to just like sit down and like jam with like Pearl Jam or something too. You know, just kind of get.
Pearl Jam would be fun. Yeah.
Pearl Jam would be great. Pearl Jam would be great. So is there any point, because I talked to Brad about this before we started recording, any point in time on making a bonus edition or deluxe edition of this album with, because I know that there is a duet written by Brad and Jimmy Allen.
Oh.
That is just sitting there from what I've been told.
Really?
I haven't heard this song. So.
I don't know if I've heard this. What song are you talking about? I don't
Brad
like,
writes a lot of songs.
He sounds so good on that "Freedom Is a Highway." I love his voice on that song. His
voice he's an amazing character. He's I say character because that's what he is. He's a character.
He is that
in a good way. So you guys created this album in the 3-week span in Asheville. So why Asheville? What made you guys pick Asheville? Because most of you guys are Virginia boys, right? So
yeah, but we were actually we all live in Nashville, so you know, and usually we record albums here in town, and you're so busy. You know, we all have lives outside of music and different responsibilities, and you know, sometimes it's hard to like balance all that, and you know, you end up cramming an album into a couple days here and there. So we really were looking for some place that we could get outside of town where we could kind of put those responsibilities aside and really work on it creatively. But so we had a couple ideas. One was Texas, I think. One was California. Asheville seemed to be the right place. It was close enough that we could all drive. It was, you know, during the middle of the pandemic and everything. So close enough we could all drive, but far enough away that we could feel a little, you know, disconnected from Nashville.
Yeah, I haven't been to Asheville. That's the same place. I believe it's the same place that Eric Church recorded his album.
I think he recorded it. I don't know if it was Asheville. It was North Carolina.
It was North Carolina, though, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't the same studio. I know.
I think he just like literally set up a studio in like his random cabin or something.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. So my question is now is how was the creativity? Because you guys did it in the middle of a pandemic. So how was the creativity? Because there's not much happening in life during a pandemic when everything is shut down. So where did you guys pull your inspirations from for this album?
Well, there's a lot of emotions happening when you can't do anything. Your own thoughts.
It's a good thing we're old enough that we can still draw from many years of other experience that we have. No, I just think, you know, it was just nice. I think, you know, some of us had been more creative or in different ways than others, and we hadn't had a chance to do it together. And it was just nice, refreshing to get together with the band again. And just, you know, I think everyone was just excited. to get in that mindset. So, the creativity, it actually flowed pretty well and pretty easily,
Yeah.
I think, Every morning, just get to the studio and write a song, then go upstairs and record it. That's what we did.
So how often did you guys write to like before obviously going to Asheville? How often did you guys write together in general?
I mean, before the
all the time.
pandemic, yeah, all the time, like before we really got busy on the road, we were primarily songwriters in town doing it with somebody 5 days a week, a lot of times with each other, a lot of times with other co-writers. And so, and then when we got on the road so busy, we would do it a little bit when we got back to town, but we'd write with each other on the road. So, that it usually picks up when we're getting closer to realizing that we're going to have to make a new album soon. We'll start writing more. But yeah, we've been writing together for long before the band even existed.
So the album. Did you guys been writing together for so long that you decided to write a meow mix to your last?
Like you do.
Listen, you made it when everyone still loves you after.
Yeah. That's what I said too. That was like a friend of mine told me that. He was like, man, that's when you made it, because you did the dumbest thing and everybody just kind of let you do it. Like, you had a stupid idea.
And people loved it. That wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, they came out this and it was annoying as hell. No, people still loved it and listened to it repeatedly. I did. Yeah. I'm saying it because I did. I did. No shame. I have no shame in it whatsoever. So we're going to talk about, because I've listened to a lot of interviews with you guys. I've edited a lot of interviews with you guys. And I've realized that no one ever talks about your families. And I feel like above all else, that is your life. That above anything else, your families come first for anything else. So tell us a little bit about your family. So I know, Matt, you're married with two little girls.
2 daughters, yeah.
2 daughters.
Yeah. You definitely do what you can to still be daddy,
Yeah, because it's a huge sacrifice being on the road, and like you miss important things obviously in life. I feel like you guys you get to a level where you might have a little bit more control of your schedule, a little bit more than the new artists do.
What's interesting, I was thinking about this the other day, and in some ways I go, man, we're on the road so much, like I was trying to think, like, do I miss a lot of stuff? In some ways we are gone a lot, but in other ways, I mean, back before we had all the success, my wife was working full time. I was working full time. I was working at Best Buy and then also trying to write full time, and the kids were going to school and in daycare. So in a lot of ways, when I'm home now, I don't really have to do anything. I can be at everything and I can spend time, So in some ways I get more quality time this way.
Yeah, I think it forces you to be a little more like, you may not physically be there, but that kind of motivates you to make sure that you're not an absent father, So
right.
I think there are probably people in this world that are, there every day, but more checked out than we actually are, because we just want to make sure they feel our presence,
Right. Which is crazy. I mean, and then you have people, when your kids take your computer to school and
yeah,
you have to do an interview on an iPhone. It's okay. It's
See,
okay.
I was there for her.
Exactly.
I'm actually doing this from my daughter's room because the Wi-Fi is the strongest.
See, there you go. Kids are there for a reason. Support each other,
You should have some, Brad.
I was gonna say, I got.
Brad.
This is my room. This is my computer. It's just my everything.
Probably gonna golf after this.
I golf before this.
Real question is, who's got your balls?
Who's got your balls?
You just saw her walk by.
Right, speaking of families, because we all know families like to fight. and families like to, have disagreements and things like that. So I'm gonna ask this question because I want to know. This is when I found out I was interviewing you guys. This is the burning question that instantaneously went to my head. Because there's a lot of egos, a lot of alpha males in this group. So when it comes down to picking the right songs for an album or a cover art, or even the tiniest little decision to be made about Old Dominion, and there's a disagreement. Are there boxing gloves? Because I'm picturing like a WWE Battle Royal ring, over the top rope, whoever's the last man standing. So who's the tiebreaker for everything?
Man,
luckily it's an odd number of people in the band, so
yeah.
Who's the tiebreaker on these things?
There's a lot. The way it typically works out, there's a lot of discussion over everything, like you said, and it's sometimes we are all on the same page, sometimes we aren't. Typically, in every case, there's usually one guy who feels stronger about whatever it is, and eventually, after the conversation, everybody just gets tired of the conversation, and they're like, you know what, you care more than I do, so cool.
So Matt just gave Trevor and Brad his plan on every argument that they have.
Just gotta outlast him.
No, the way he answered that was exactly what I was going to say. Some people, like we're trying to pick the artwork for the CD, and some people are like, I really like the yellow, and I'm like, all right, I don't really care. So yellow it is.
Right.
So has there been marriage counseling? Because I know that there's been other bands who've done marriage counseling to kind of
for the band.
For the band. Yeah.
We haven't got there yet.
You haven't got there yet?
No.
Oh, you're 10. You're 10.
I think if we haven't needed it at this point, we're probably not going to need it.
Yeah, we're probably not.
Yeah. So what's the plan now for 2021 or 2022 rather, now that we're
I guess
pretty much over?
Pretty much take over the world, I think, is probably.
Yeah. We were going to do it last year. Obviously, everything happened, but we'll take it over next year.
I mean, there's always year after year you can take it over. So I don't know if you guys can talk about this.
That's true. Somebody could take it back.
Someone could take it back. Someone could take it back. It goes year after year,
Yeah.
So here's my question for you. Because I'm going to talk about the first time I saw you guys. First time I saw you guys was in Philadelphia in Lincoln Financial Field, because I'm from Philly. And you guys were opening for the one, the only Kenny Chesney, the only artist I've seen 15 times in my life. Don't judge me. That means I've probably seen Old Dominion about 15 times. But so let's talk about, how's it been with that relationship? Has he kind of been like a big brother to you guys and growing your career and helping you along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I could safely say we would not be where we are today without him. I mean, we've gained so many fans from him having us on his shows. We hear people all the time that come through meet and greets and stuff and say, we saw you with Kenny Chesney, and, so of course there's just the sheer number of people he's put us in front of. But, also, when we did the first tour, we only had our tour manager and sound guy. We only had 2 crew, and we just learned kind of how to build our whole crew, and, everything from behind the scenes to, on the stage, he's been a big part of it.
Yeah, and to the point where you guys even got him a #1 hit. Let's
not forget what we've done for him.
Let's not forget what you guys done for him.
He also wouldn't be where he is.
Yeah.
Woody.
We took him from here to here.
So who's your dream? So right now, up and coming artists, you guys are headliners and things. You guys are headliners. You guys are kicking ass. I call you guys A-listers.
Oh wow.
People are. You are. Come on, coming out vocal group of the
year. At least
a
solid B+. right?
At least
Yeah.
a solid B plus, solid. A minus maybe,
Yeah.
So here's my question, because I want to talk about this. What up and coming act now do you guys see and like be like, oh, I want that guy on a tour, I want that girl on a tour? Who's that up and coming act for you guys now?
I mean, I don't know. I really like. I think Ashley McBride's really cool. I just get like a
Yeah.
get a real authentic vibe from her. I mean, obviously, Hardy has sort of taken the genre by storm. Not only is he a talented guy, but he's just the nicest, most down to earth dude.
Yeah, it's like, is he up and coming, or he's kind of already came, right?
I'd say
He's already up.
I'd say he's probably still up and coming.
He's still up and coming.
Yeah. But if you see his show, you're like, damn, this guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen him live. I've seen YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a song, one of his recent songs, he couldn't sing because of the fact that he couldn't hear himself because the crowd was just singing along, screaming to the top of their lungs.
That's for real. Yeah. We
Yeah,
played a couple shows with them this year, and it's a great show. The crowd sings every word.
Yeah, and you could tell they know the songs that aren't on the radio. They're actually fans of everything he does.
So have you guys had the experience where you had to sing so you can barely hear yourself? I feel like you have.
For sure, man. It's so cool when that happens. Just, it's so much fun to see that your music has like affected people, and hear that. That's like the ultimate, man. The first time that ever happened, the first time just hearing a crowd of people, it was probably at that point like 50 people that knew the song. It's like, oh wow, we actually are getting out there, it never gets old.
So going back to seeing you for the first time, I had a conversation with Jimmy Allen this morning and his father-in-law. And his father-in-law told us about the first time that he saw you guys live was at Merriweather Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
Amphitheater. And I think Michael Ray opened for you guys as well as Jimmy. And so they went out to the crowd and he had no idea who the hell Old Dominion was. Only countries he listened to was obviously Jimmy Allen because his daughter was marrying her. And so he goes out to the crowd and he goes, holy shit. He heard one man band.
Right.
And he goes back and he's like, make sure you tell him this too. I went looking for the song on Spotify, and then I end up in the Old Dominion black hole. I could not stop listening. He goes, I couldn't remember the name to the damn song, so I just kept listening until I found the song.
That's funny.
That's great.
Now, was he enjoying this or was he frustrated while listening?
Yeah.
He's like, damn it, this one's not it either.
This was not it either. Damn it.
All of these.
So I would be remiss in this not to talk about this because part of the reason as to why I wanted to get you guys on the show was because we usually do this in person. We normally smoke cigars. I know you guys love cigars because of Andrew Dorth.
Yeah.
So tell us about your relationship with Andrew Dorth and how it's affected you in your life.
Oh man,
knowing him, he's, for those of you who don't know, he was a tremendous songwriter who passed away. It was a couple years ago, I believe, now. Yeah. So just tell us how he affected your life and how he touched your lives.
I mean, I think it's like, you meet a lot of people in life, and there's only a few that really stick out as like, just a unique, kind of a true original. Like he was just, a crazy, weird dude, but also, he was sensitive and self-conscious and confident. It was just like,
it just had such a huge heart too.
Yeah, he was just an interesting guy, and it's always nice when you get to meet people like that, And
yeah, I think like you said, everything about him was so unique, and to the point where I remember the first time I just saw him. I was driving. He was in the parking lot of a recording studio. I was coming in to do a demo session. I didn't know this guy at all. He was out there in the parking lot smoking a cigar, and he just from that you could tell whoever this guy was someone different, and he was just a magnetic person. So he just, and then once he came into your life, he was that person there too. Like every time you saw him, you would just kind of like be taken aback and be like, man, this guy, like what an original person.
I remember the first time I rode with him, and he had sunglasses on, and I didn't realize like he couldn't freaking see. He probably prescription sunglasses, but I'm like, this fucking guy's got his sunglasses on. Like, come on, dude.
Wow. But he's also, like I say, he had the biggest heart. I think of anybody I've ever met. He was so selfless, man. It was like, when you meet people like that, I remember like I wasn't like super close friends with him at the time this happened, but we knew each other a bit. And I saw him at a Predators game. He walked by and I was like, oh, hey, man. And I was there with my daughter, and he's like, hey, we talked for a second. And he came back like 20 minutes later with like this Predators hat that he bought for her. And I'm just like, who does that? Like,
Wow.
it was crazy. Like somebody like that, who's just always thinking of other people, like that always really sticks with me.
Yeah, he was riding at my house one morning and knew that I had the kids there, and showed up with like Happy Meals and all kinds of stuff for them.
Wow.
No one does that. He always was so considerate and thoughtful of other people.
Yeah, I wish I would have met him. We've had like mutual friends and things like that, and but we never got the opportunity to meet. And I've heard nothing but, even before he passed away, you normally get people like, oh, he was so nice. It's like, yeah, would you say that though if he was alive, kind of thing?
Yeah.
As cynical as it may sound, and it's like,
Sure.
He was
You
an
would
asshole.
also say
He was an asshole too. Just
yeah. You would also say he's an asshole, and you would also say he's like super weird.
yeah. So it's like, but to hear but I've heard stories for so long on how great of a person he was, and as you said, unique to be around.
Totally. And we've had one of the most memorable nights that we've ever had. All the years that we've been touring was with him, and we just laughed so hard all night long just hanging out with him. We wrote a couple songs that we ended up recording, and that night we just sat around, smoked cigars, and were just in tears at the stuff that he was saying. And it was just one of the most like memorable nights that we've ever had as a band. So he's left a huge mark on us musically and personally, and I think we all feel him, if not, weekly, nightly, when we play the songs that we've been with him.
What songs did he write with you guys?
We wrote Not Everything's About You with him.
Yeah, that day we wrote that song for sure.
So You Go.
So You Go.
Can't Get You.
Yeah. What else? We put out a single, which unfortunately.
I know.
Well, that's good. That can change. Go back in the catalog. Go back in this catalog.
Midnight Mess Around. Midnight Mess Around was what it was.
Midnight Mess. That's the one. I knew it. Yeah. I love Midnight Mess Around. You want to talk about a Motown feel?
Yeah.
Come on. Oh man, how about the midnight? Seriously, that was a great fucking song. So I'm not gonna keep you guys much longer. This is pretty much all I want to talk to you guys, because I fucking love you guys. And this is a dream come true. I can scratch you guys off my bucket list. You guys were number 2 on my bucket list outside of Eric Church, which that's a stretch, but hey. It's gonna happen.
We got Gladys Knight.
We got Gladys Knight. If you got Gladys Knight, I can get Eric Church.
You want something, ask for it.
Yeah.
Trevor, though, did you have to move to the room where you showing all the records back there, huh, buddy?
Well, I would try to find a room without any, but they're all over the place.
Oh,
Look at this pile here. I haven't even put this pile up
my God. Where's the awards? You got the awards? You showing them? Where's the trophy?
Upstairs.
they're upstairs.
They're up by the mantle. Yeah.
They're upstairs.
Cliche spot.
They're upstairs where everybody shows that.
Yeah.
Shows
Yeah,
when you walk in the door.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are on the.
You
piano.
better than me,
You
you better than me. I will be walking in, and there's all the trophies that I would ever have right there, showcasing.
You got to step over them to get into the house.
Know how many I won before you enter? That's the passcode. How many awards have I won?
That's awesome.
This has been great. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously, for coming on and doing this, taking time out of your day, out of your morning here in Nashville. It's beautiful out. Go have a cigar. Go golf. Go give it a vote.
Feel good about ourselves.
Go
feel good about ourselves today.
Hey, you know what? That's my job. If I can make someone feel good about themselves once a day, I'm good. I did 3. I'm good for a week now.
There you go.
Keep you in my pocket.
This has been another episode, phenomenal episode, great episode, season finale 4 of Smoking Section with Matt, Trevor, Brad of Old Dominion. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, man.
You're listening to The Smoking Section.